Welcome to the Dog Nerd Show, where we geek out over our best friends. I'm Megan.
And I'm Michael, and this is a show about all things dog.
Hey, everybody. We are so excited about today's episode. Today, we bring you Matt and Meg from The Bear and the Rat. And if you're not familiar with The Bear and the Rat, it is cool treats for dogs. So it's essentially healthy frozen yogurt for your dogs. And Finlay and Riley love it.
Oh, yeah. They are absolute fans. And I think your dogs will be too. So we're excited to bring this interview to you today. We were able to speak to Matt and Meg and get the backstory of how they started their company and what drove them to do it, and also the meanings behind the name.
Yeah, so be sure to listen to find out about this awesome couple. They are fantastic. They are fellow dog nerds. And don't forget, go ahead and subscribe to our channel right now so you don't miss an episode. Hit that notification bell to get reminded of our episodes. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast channel, please write a review. We would love it.
Excellent, excellent. So without further ado, let's get into that interview.
So thanks for joining us, everybody. Today we are here with Matt and Meg, and they are from The Bear and the Rat, which we love.
Yep.
We haven't tasted it ourselves, but it is a sweet frozen treat for dogs. And we always call it ice cream, but it's really like a frozen yogurt. Is that right?
It
Correct.
is, yeah. It's
Okay.
a yogurt-based product.
So tell us a little bit about how you guys got started. What drove you to form the company, and just fill us in on that.
Yeah. So honestly, this would just be an idea in my head if it wasn't for Meg. She is the one who executes here. But the way this came about was my family would go for cones on Sundays in the late 80s. So we would take, it'd be me and my brothers and sisters, my mom and dad, and then our little black poodle would come along with us as well. And she'd look at us like, excuse me, am I not a part of this family? And my dad was the one who was like, let's get her a cone. So he'd buy her a little baby cone with a little dollop of vanilla on top. She would go bonkers. I mean, just absolutely bonkers. And one of my favorite memories was seeing my mom just howl with laughter over it, and all of us kind of laughing as a family, and other families looking at us like, wow, what about
Yeah, because in the late 80s, you didn't really take your dog to get ice cream.
No.
That was not something you did.
No, it really wasn't as open, I guess, as it is now, where people bring their dogs everywhere.
Yeah, and the mentality was different about
Of course.
dogs.
Right.
But yeah, so she'd come along with us, and when we got her home, it was usually like a 50-50 shot on whether she digested it well, and if there may have been an accident. It didn't matter. We took her back every single week. My dad got hands and knees, scrubbing whatever mess might have happened. So in my mind, I always thought it was great. I thought it was fun, but why is it there's something for them that, benefited them, their digestion, or at least didn't make them sick? So that's where, this
And
idea.
we looked around and we knew there were a couple of other products.
Yes.
But then we looked at the ingredients and we were like, oh, these aren't
Yeah.
good for dogs. This is a lot of chemicals and byproducts. And it just kind of seemed like there could be room for a healthy version.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, our product's gotten so much healthier. We recently got rid of the probiotics after a lot of research. And instead, what we did was we joined with a company called Clover Research, and they have supplements, and their founder's a biochemist, and she develops all of the formulations in-house, which is very atypical for supplement companies. They all kind of they sort of go to a food scientist, and they all sort of copy each other, and there's a lot of kind of gross, well, if they have it in their product, maybe we should have it in ours, but there's no real science behind it. So after being friends with her for a really long time and listening to why their product was really great, because they had done clinical trials and all this stuff to see that it was actually effective, we were like, well, why do we have probiotics? So what they have, it's something called Octogest. So it's prebiotics and 4 plant-based digestive enzymes. And so the prebiotics grow the pet's native probiotics, their own probiotics, and then that helps them have healthy stools and less gas. and then the digestive enzymes help them absorb their meal more fully. So we're really proud that our product just continues to get better. I mean, we're 10 years this year, and we're not just sitting there like, okay, it's good enough. I mean, it really, we continue to improve upon it when we get a chance. And
I always recommend the banana peanut butter for people to try. It's funny you say you haven't tried it yet. The bacon, and I would never direct someone to try the bacon, but the banana peanut butter is actually pretty good. I mean, it has, you know, the bananas, the peanut butter, and then the yogurt. So it really is like a smoothie with no sugar, if that's the realm you kind of think of.
Yeah.
You go into it thinking, oh, this is Ben and Jerry's or a Jenny's ice cream. You're just going to be like, this is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Well, we don't eat a lot of sugar ourselves. So even like when I do have regular ice cream, I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of sugar. So, and that's what drew us to your product, was that we really try to be as holistic as possible with our dogs. And, Finley's 16, Riley's 13. We've learned a lot along the way, and, wish we had done things a little differently at the beginning, but, it's definitely, they love it. Finley had his bacon peanut butter on his birthday in February. And, of course, when you have two dogs, they both get treats on birthdays. So
absolutely. Yeah. It wouldn't be right.
Right.
No,
we're the same way. I mean, we really didn't know much about dog nutrition until the melamine outbreak in 2007. And that's when we started educating ourselves and actually seeing, well, maybe we could do something like this. Maybe there is a market for it, because it just, I mean, that really started opening our eyes to things.
That's when a lot of people started to think about
100%.
Yeah, there's definitely a market for it. I tell you, we did a book signing, and we purchased your product, and every dog just went nuts when we gave them.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
it was my second book release party, and so we had it at the Downtown Pooch, which is in Roswell, and they carry your product.
Yeah.
And so we were like, let's do an ice cream social for an hour, and then we'll do, other sample treats and stuff. And so there were people lined up, and, whenever, they always let me set up on their front lawn for events, before quarantine.
Right.
And I would see dogs coming in and out, and, it's warm here, and they have events in the spring and summer in the evenings. And so it's hot, and the dogs would just, and I've posted and I've tagged you guys in several pictures, like, look at this dog, and they just love it. So we were like, well, look at the ingredient. Wow, those are good ingredients. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, the ingredients are fantastic. And I guess I'm going to have to, well, you said the bacon one. I may have to try the bacon one. I've never found anything that has bacon in it that was not good.
It's not sweet.
Not good, and it's tangy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of weird if you're.
It's not like a maple bacon, ice
okay.
cream or anything like that.
I don't know. Maybe we could do a taste test.
I think we should. I think we're going to do a taste test.
You totally should. We have had some human customers buy the bacon for themselves, which we've seen, and we've seen them comment on. So some people do like it. It's rare.
Yeah. It's very rare. Yeah.
We have seen it, and there was this one guy. This was like a long time ago, but he was outside of Whole Foods, and this is when we had pints. We had pints when we were on Shark Tank, we had pints, and he was outside of Whole Foods eating it, and there was this one guy who worked at Whole Foods, and he saw Matt, and he goes, did you see that guy eating your
like, hey man,
bacon?
That guy's eating, is it okay? And I'm like, it's fine, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily the best thing you'd want, but I mean, there's other great ice cream selections you guys have.
Yeah.
Did he know it was for dogs, or?
I mean, we had it all. Sure. I mean, there's dogs on our pack.
Yeah. So it was pretty clear.
I mean, who knows?
Who knows? It's hard to say.
Hey, maybe he's a loyal customer. There you go.
Never know. I mean, it's hilarious. Guys, I'm going to go check on the kids.
Yeah.
But I will be back, and Matt is more than able to tell us.
Thank you.
Yeah, oh, yeah, the rat's right here.
He's probably looking at that.
He's like, I don't know. She might be going to get me my dinner.
Yeah, he thinks so. But yeah, I mean, that's really how it happened. I mean, and then the way that really it came about, though, is because I would bring this up to people throughout high school, college. I'm like, hey, do you think this would be a good idea? Like friends, good friends. And they're like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, man. Don't pursue that. But also, once again, this is late 90s, you know, whenever
Yeah.
you bringing this up. So still prior to anybody thinking that this is something that
Mm-hmm.
is normal, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I met Meg, we were on our honeymoon and she said, I'm tired of working for other people. And I said, okay. She said, I really want to start my own thing. And I said, I fully support you. And she said, with you. And I go, because I didn't really know it just seemed like such a, I don't know, it seems stressful to like, oh, okay, we're going to put all our, you know, get this into like one thing and
Yeah.
work together. And, but yeah, she's fearless. I mean, honestly, all those people, you know, who said that's the dumb idea, I said, it was kind of funny because we were on our honeymoon and I said, she's like, I want to do my own thing. And I said, you know, that's great. She said, with you? I said, she's like, don't you have any ideas? I said, yeah, you know, and I was kind of being a smart aleck with her. I was like, yeah, what about dog ice cream? She's like, let's do it. No hesitation, no fear. So, and then we actually had the name in place before we even thought about doing such a thing. I mean, we always called Quimby the bear, and Micah, whenever he was in trouble, was always the rat. So,
And being a rat terrier, I imagine he might get into a lot of trouble, or when he was younger, if he's anything like our dogs, they are just, it's like what do they call terriers? Little terrorists. Because
yes.
yeah.
So what were some of the challenges maybe in the beginning and then in the process that you guys ran into that were hurdles you had to get over?
Yeah. You know, the biggest thing at the time was production for us. And even for a long time after that, you know, we started making it in our kitchen and we started selling at a local farmer's market in Denver. And we sold out every single week. But we only had a trial run at the farmer's market. So when we were done with it, we had some interest in some people going, oh, you should sell to this store. And we had some contacts. But we were making it in our kitchen still, and I was delivering to those stores. It was maybe a half dozen, 5 or 6 stores. And then Meg happened to find a local co-packer and a local ice cream manufacturer. And they kind of helped us develop a more, not mass scale, but a larger scale formula. And we were able to launch the pints, which we knew people wanted cups, but we wanted to kind of differentiate ourselves from the other brands out there and kind of feel like that. No, this is, you know, ice cream for dogs. It's in a pint. You know, it's clear cut what it was.
Right.
But at the same time, we knew people wanted the cups for convenience, and our product was so dense that you really had to thaw it on the counter for 15 to 20 minutes to get it even like ice bill. It took a long time, and sometimes people would leave the pint down on the counter. So, you know, it was a good starting point for us. And we learned a lot at that ice cream facility, but we knew we were eventually going to need it, you know, transition to a larger one and someone that could do cups at a larger scale.
Yeah.
And so now, are you working with a co-packer now or a commercial kitchen?
Yes. So we actually have a manufacturing partner now. They're fantastic. They're actually out in New Jersey, so a little farther from Colorado, but I can't tell you how amazing they are. They really have helped us, you know, make our product even better. And it's just, we wouldn't be able to be here without them. I mean, we would, you know, still be making it ourselves, doing everything by hand. That was the thing, like towards the end of our stint at the facility in Colorado, I was literally doing everything by hand, gluing boxes and lidding. And I mean, it was very much a labor of love. And before we transitioned, it was in the summertime, and it was kind of the worst time to transition because we stopped producing in the old facility around the end of June, and then we didn't start producing in the new facility till mid-August. So we had about a 2-month gap where I had a lot of stores calling me, and it went beyond stores. I had customers going, why can't I find your product? Which stores are understanding. They get things happen, and, you know, they very much understand things go on. Customers, getting calls from customers is, you know, it's almost a death note. I mean, if you don't get it on top back, they're going to go on to the next thing. So, luckily, everything went out without a hitch. It was a smooth transition. Took a little longer than we'd have liked, but they really are an amazing manufacturer. And we've been able to launch 2 new SKUs because of them. We actually have a new goat milk.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really, really amazing. It's a super convenient option, so there's no thawing, refreezing. It's a single-serve option that you give to the dog. It has all the great benefits of goat's milk. It has in Clover's Optigest. But the original one has cinnamon, turmeric, and ginger, and then we have one that has coconut puree as well.
Oh, we got to get
yeah.
those for our dogs. I don't know if I've seen them at the Pooch. I'm gonna have to go check because we know goat's milk really helps our guys' tummies, and Riley's been having some issues lately, so we probably need to add some of that, and all the other things like the cinnamon and the turmeric and everything too.
Yeah,
See,
the ginger,
she agrees. She's like, yes, I need some.
She's in there giving us a what for, but that's fantastic. So you're able now with the larger producer, you're able to create those extra SKUs and sort of take it to that next level, I'm assuming. That's fantastic.
Yes. And it's interesting because we really thought the goat milk was going to be this huge instant hit, and it's taken it's been out for a couple years now, and it's taken some time to gain traction. But just this year, we've really seen a lot of, more in stores, more customer feedback about it. So, that's really been a positive. And that's the thing, with it's like we said on Shark Tank, they kind of grilled us about this, but Meg was right. This is a product that takes a little bit longer. Frozen items are not something that are overnight. It really is a labor of love. I actually did another podcast a couple weeks ago, and one of the questions was, what would you recommend to any entrepreneurs out there? And I said, don't do frozen. and not that it can't be done, and it's just that it is so difficult when you add frozen freight, frozen storage. It's just this extra element that is more expensive, more difficult. It's not something I would push someone to pursue, but
the market's very the market's very tight too in the frozen
space. Space. It's all about the space. It's we are really lucky to be in the space we are in Whole Foods, and that's why we love our independence too, is because we call attention to the frozen food and the raw feeding in their stores. So it's an easy gateway for customers too, who may be totally green to it.
Yeah, that's a good point, because if they don't understand the nutritional value, but they want to get something, frozen and fun for their dog, this kind of gets that, especially if they look at your packaging and, they're reading about it. What would you say for people that have not fed goat's milk products to their dogs, why it would be beneficial?
Wow. Okay. So this is a good question. That's a really great question. First of all, adding moisture to their diet, if you're feeding strictly kibble, putting goat milk on top of it not only adds just the moisture element, but it has all the healthy probiotics in it. And, it gives them something, different to, look forward to. Yeah. Imagine eating the same thing every day for, years. You want to switch it up.
Exactly.
So
cereal every day. Cereal with no milk every day.
Yeah, exactly. Like adding a little moisture, it entices them. It gets that scent. And plus goat milk is just, the palatability on it is off the charts. Especially with ours, I would, our bacon's our number one SKU, but I would be willing to wager if you put down either one of our goat milks next to our bacon, they'd probably go with the goat milk.
Oh, we're going to try it.
Oh, yeah.
Especially since we've just found out that Finley's mostly blind right now. He's just going to have to use his sniffer. So we'll do a little test. Don't worry. He's still great.
Is the same way. Like it's funny though. He always looks me in the eye. I don't think he's always looking me in the eye. He knows where my eyes are. So you must see the shadow.
I saw him following you around earlier, and I was like, he knows where you are. Of course, probably a lot of that's his nose, but
he's loving this quarantine.
Oh,
ours are too. Yes.
Oh my goodness, it's just like, I get to go hang out with you all day. Okay, this is good. I like it.
he sits with me on the floor. I mean, he's a really good friend. So.
And so with that, I mean, you guys were a natural fit for us to interview because I figured you must be dog nerds as well if your product is for dogs and you named your product after your dogs. So tell us a little bit about, you said you knew you would name whatever business you started after your dogs. So tell us about those dogs and why you made that decision.
Yeah. So I don't know if I can maybe get this. Whoops, not so. But over right there is on the top of our bed. Like that's how geeky we are. We are dog nerds. That's the bear right there, which would be on the right side, and then Leica's on the left. And yeah, I mean, it's funny. Even before I moved out here to be with Meg, because we were actually old high school friends, and we reconnected on MySpace, which sounds so archaic now. But even before, I was living in Florida and she was living here in Colorado, and she said, well, what are you doing down there? And I'm like, well, not much, just working and hanging out with my dog. And she said, well, why didn't you come to Colorado? And I was like, okay, it's not like you're asking me to move, I don't know, just somewhere
New Zealand or something.
Yeah. And we were joking, I was like, if our dogs don't get along, I'm gonna have to get right back in the car and go right back to Florida.
That's a deal breaker.
But yeah, I mean, Quimby, it's funny. That dog, it's funny, Meg called him Quimby the magic dog, and he really was a magical dog. He just had a way of I don't know, he was a very unique dog. Like, he loved chicken wings. Like, he would bite your face off for a chicken wing. But he was really sweet, and just even before, when I did come out to first visit Meg, he actually liked me more than Meg did.
Wow. Dogs are very good judges of character. So
they really are. It's funny because I could still see him when we got into her car, and he was in the back seat of her Bug, and he just popped out his head, and he was just so sweet and jumped up in my lap. And yeah, like, he was just a really special dog. And even then, like, it was Meg's dog, but I mean, I loved him all the same.
Yeah.
But the rat, same thing. So I've had him for about 15 years now, just about any day now. And the way I got him was I was living in Florida, and I had two roommates, and they were a couple. And they said, hey, we're going to get a dog, are you cool with that? And I said, yeah, absolutely. I love dogs, And, it was his sister, and they brought her home, and I was playing with her, and I was just like, oh, she's so cute. Her brother's available. And I was like 26. I was like, I don't need a dog. I was like, I don't need a responsibility. I could barely, take care of myself at that point. And they're like, he's the only one. No one wants him. I was up there driving the next day, going to pick him up. And yeah, he's been one of my best friends ever since. Like, that dog has been through every little, nook and cranny with me. And I just, I love him with all my heart.
Aw, that's so awesome. Well, we definitely can relate. I mean, they're just, we don't have human children. Our dogs are our children. So, they're special creatures. And that's why, we created this show, and I write my books, and it's all about the dogs with us. So,
yes. And that's the same thing with us about our product. Nothing makes me happier than hearing from people and how much their dogs enjoy it. It solidifies what we're doing is good. It makes me happy. It makes me smile to see all the dog, like, when the whites of the eyes are popping out, and you're doing something good.
Well, we're gonna have to make sure to share video of Riley, because when she's done, she then tries to eat the carton. Like, she's like, but I think there's more, and it's like, no, it just maybe smells like good packaging.
Yeah, she has licked the bottom almost off.
She picks it up, she picks it up with her teeth, takes it over to the bottom stair, and so she can get on the carpet and grip it. But yeah, she's a character.
Yeah. I actually had a fan the other day call. Her Doberman ate a cup, and she was kind of freaking out a little bit. She was like, I don't know what to do, and I was like, calm down. I was like, honestly, we thought of this because our cups are compostable, and they have soy-based ink. So if a dog were to eat it, he may have, maybe a little small tummy ache, but I mean, no issues to really
That's
great.
awesome that you guys went that far and thought about that, because I'm sure your competition does not do the
They
same
have
thing.
plastic cups, and I'll be even honest. When we started at the farmers market, we had plastic cups,
Mhm.
and one of the first dogs went crazy, cracked it in half, and
Oh,
I had to rip it from him. And I looked at Meg. I said, "We can't do this for much longer, as far
yeah,
as the plastic is concerned. We
yeah.
gotta come
Yeah.
up with an alternative here."
Well, and then you worry what's in the chemicals in the plastic too,
Oh
you
God,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. That's the first start of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is there anything that you would have done differently? Like if you looking back, I mean, I know, usually with these journeys where we start a business or a venture, it's, we learn so much. And I
Sure.
thought you guys were fantastic on Shark Tank. And I was so worried for the rat when he was like falling out of Robert's arms. I was like, oh my, I get that kind of said something to me, maybe. He was like, "Okay, this guy's not gonna give me a deal. I gotta move on." But, was there anything that you guys would do differently?
Anything we would do differently? We've had so what really sticks out in my mind when you ask that is we had a freeze dried product a few years ago. And it was a really, really awesome product. It really was cool. It was freeze dried yogurt drops.
Ooh.
Like, and they were basically yogurt drops for babies, but in the vein of a dog's, digestion and their taste buds. Um, the problem with it was the manufacturer had a minimum order, and that order, it had to be Walmart for
Yeah.
this to succeed. And I wish, if I would have maybe changed something, maybe would have changed. I wish I would have fought harder to get smaller minimums, or I don't know, maybe just launched it a little more slowly, just done it a little differently.
Mhm.
Um, because even to this day, we still get people who call. They're like, "Are you ever going to bring this back?" Because my
Mhm.
dog loved them. The bear really loved them because they were so soft; they would just dissolve.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he only had like 2 or 3 teeth towards the end of his life. So I
Mhm.
mean, finding a treat that was soft for him was a real important task for us, beyond ours. But yeah, it was. I wish we would have done maybe a couple strategic different things with that, because it really was a great product. Um, yeah, like I think another thing we made a mistake on is typically those drops were in a 1 ounce bag, and we wanted to do a 2 ounce bag to give a little more value to the customer.
Mhm.
Well, all that extra weight added up to a lot of breakage. So
Oh.
a lot of those discs that were supposed to be nice and cylinder, they were broken. So it just,
Mhm.
a couple things we wish we would have changed on that. But I also look back at it as, it was a fail, and sometimes you got to try things, you're going to fail, and that's how business goes. And I think you hear about that for a lot of successful businesses. You got to try, and sometimes you're going to fail, and
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. You usually end up failing more than you succeed, and that's how you grow. So,
Yeah. That's when you learn the most, right?
absolutely.
yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just love what you guys are doing. I love your Instagram page. Are either of you the graphic designer, or are you have you
So Meg does all our Instagram, but we also have a graphics person who works with us. She's amazing.
Yes.
She has her, shout out to Lori. Her dog Barkley Doodles is a huge fan, and he's just so adorable. So we're really lucky to have linked up with her and have her kind of do some stuff for us, because she is a genius when it comes to like nailing our brand and knowing what we're about.
Yes, I mean that it's just so visually appealing. I do graphic design by day, so that's why I pay attention to it. And I wore this T-shirt today because it kind of matched your color scheme on your on your Instagram. It's
Yes,
messy, it's
love
it's pink and fun, but yeah, you guys do a great job. We wish you so much success because we love that. I
it. Thank
mean,
you.
it's so evident how you feel about your dogs because when you were talking about the soft treats for your senior dog, I mean, that's something that we're dealing with too. The teeth start to get a little bad and what do you do? It's like you can add goat's milk to kibble, but for a treat, it's hard to find something.
That's just it. And like even the rat, he's lost, he has a good amount of teeth still left, but he's lost some. And, just I could see at one point where he was struggling, and I was, trying some different stuff just to add moisture. And you get in the routines and you find what works, what doesn't. it's kind of funny, not to be all morose, but this is a testament to how funny they are. When Quimby died, he wouldn't eat for, I want to say, at least 3 weeks, like where I switched about 7 foods, like I mean, literally 7 foods, and he'd eat the first bowl, and then the second day he looked up at me and go,
Oh.
I mean, even our treats, he'd look at me and like, I don't think so, and communicating that, and it's funny. Sometimes, I've talked to people who don't have a pet and I go, okay, dude. And I'm like, no, that's really what he's
The
doing.
real
I'm telling you.
thing. They say that the other dog in the household will mourn. And I've even heard that it's a good idea, like if you are able to have like the vet come to your house for them to see the dog having passed, because then they know they're gone. Because a lot of dogs will then start going and looking for their buddy, like, where is he? Is he coming back? And I mean, the mourning is real. I had a realtor that I worked with who, her husband was in hospice in their home, and they had a Jack Russell, and she hated that dog, he loved that dog, and she hated in a loving way, that dog is always getting into trouble. When her husband passed away in the bed, that dog was with him, jumped off the bed, went into his crate, and she said he cried like she had never heard him cry before, and he was mourning. He knew it. And it's just,
So sad.
they are so, I mean, that's why we're doing what we do, because we are so blessed to have these creatures in our lives and to be able to care for
Yes.
them. And the love and the compassion and the just everything they provide us is just amazing. And if more people could understand that it's real, a dog is not just a dog,
Hmm.
then hopefully we can change some patterns out there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's, um, yeah. I mean, we get some great emails from people, who say sometimes their dogs stopped eating, and this is the only thing they'll eat towards the end of their life, and it hurts, to hear it, but it's also, you're like, it makes you feel really good that you are a part of that.
Yep.
Um,
Because
you
you're
know,
giving
it's,
something so important for those people. I mean, because you know how you felt when the rat wasn't eating, and to know that, oh wow, we're helping an animal, that's going through something. That's pretty awesome.
mhm.
Yeah.
Well, Meg, we were just wrapping it up, but we
Good, yeah.
love what you guys are doing, and just wanted to know if you had anything else you wanted to say. We love your product. We're gonna probably do it.
There he
Hey,
is.
buddy. Oh, he's so cute. Oh,
Ah.
he loves his daddy.
He's obsessed with Matt. He always has been.
Well, if you would you tell people where they can find you on social, and how they can get in touch with you?
And how they can buy your products.
Yeah.
Yes. So we are all over in the ice cream section. So, okay, we're either in an independent pet store like the Downtown Pooch, which is awesome. We're in stores like that all across the country. And then we're also in grocery stores. We're in Whole Foods across the country in the ice cream section, and some mainline grocery as well. So kind of look in the ice cream section if you're in the grocery store and see, but definitely a lot of just independent pet stores, which are awesome.
And then independents also have flavors that you won't see, obviously,
Yes.
like the goat milk,
Milk,
and then our pumpkin as well.
Yep.
Oh yes, I know the Downtown Pooch has the pumpkin. I've got to look for that goat's milk though. I will do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yes, and they could totally bring it in. You
Yeah.
could say, hey, could you just bring in the goat? Because it's all the same distributors who
Okay.
carry it. So, yeah, and let me see. You can catch us on Instagram at The Bear and the Rat. So,
And I know on your website you can order through there, right?
you can, yes. I never really mention it because it's super expensive.
Okay.
It's more for people like in the middle of nowhere where they don't have any option, not even like an independent pet store or anything like
Right.
that. So, we don't really push people in that
It's
direction.
just because shipping,
Yeah.
expedited shipping, coolers, dry ice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's like you're buying a human cake that gets shipped with
Yeah.
special care and attention. It's super expensive. So
You'd have to be a hardcore dog nerd to do that, right?
you do.
Yeah.
And we do have some amazing dog nerds out there there's this one chick who buys like, I don't know, like she buys 30 days worth online.
That's great.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
She's amazing. So
Well, when I was looking at your website about where near us, in addition to the Downtown Pooch, some of the large grocery stores as well,
Yeah.
so you guys are definitely doing an awesome job. I think it's just so cool. It's inspiring to us as a husband and wife that work together, trying to work together.
right.
That you guys took an awesome idea and really just went for it and are creating something that's so good for our animals, and our dogs love it, and we hope that you guys continue to do great things. And I was saying to Matt, I love your Instagram, I love your logo, everything you do is just awesome.
You. The rat, his ears are poking up through my shirt. He's like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you. We appreciate the kind words, and yeah, I mean, it has been a dream come true for Meg and I. I mean, we're really lucky to be a part of the pet industry, and to have the success we've had so far. And we just want to keep coming out with awesome products for people's pets and to see them enjoy it.
We
and
are working on some cool stuff.
Yeah.
In the future.
Awesome.
So we're hopefully something will not be frozen, but
Yeah, the next thing, we are working on another frozen product, and then we're hoping it won't be frozen after that. I mean, it all depends on the equipment, but
when you get your first non-frozen, you're not going to know what to do with yourselves, because
I know. Well, we did have a non-frozen product.
told them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was a total fail. So
But
So,
it sounds like something that we would love. So, if it ever
it
becomes
was an
possible.
awesome product. It
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
was.
I told him
We
how
loved it.
much the bear really liked it. So.
Oh, he did. Yeah, that one really hurt. We thought it was going to be awesome. So,
Yeah. Well, and like we said, it's all a learning experience, but you guys are doing great things. You're so inspiring to us, and we can't wait to see what you come up with next.
Yeah, and we wish you guys the best of luck. It's so great to have you guys in the pet industry. It's just fantastic. And like I said, our dogs are huge fans, and they're fans for life.
Oh,
you.
that's really awesome.
I would love to do it again. This is really fun.
Yeah. And if you have friends that we can refer you guys to talk.
Yeah, we have a
Oh,
bunch of
yeah.
awesome
Yeah, that would be
companies and really cool, funny pet people that you love.
Mhm.
Very cool.
That would be fantastic. Cool. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, we'll make sure to link up to all of your website, your Instagram, and everything, so everyone knows where to find you.
Hooray. Well, thanks, guys. And
Thank
you so
you.
much.
the storm is nice.
Yes.
It has passed like a
Oh,
typical Georgia storm. It's passed. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
How awesome are they?
They're fantastic.
I
What
mean-
a story, right?
Yeah,
Very
just
cool.
a cool couple. And, as Meg said, she had to go back and forth because their human children needed her attention. So it was great speaking with both of them. It's just cool meeting fellow dog nerds. And, when you name your company after your dogs, that's pretty dog nerdy. And we mean that in the best way possible. So be sure to check out The Bear and the Rat at cooltreatsfordogs.com. You can actually use a store locator to find anywhere where you
Right.
can get their cool treats for dogs. And on social media, make sure to hashtag a pic of your dog enjoying a cool treat and use the hashtag cool treats for dogs. And maybe you'll get featured on their page.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. And they are excited about the future, and we are too. And we hope you check them out and check us out on social media as well. You can find us at dognerdshow.com. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. So just search Dog Nerd Show, and we appreciate you tuning in. As always, please take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.